Hey guys, it's me, Mr. 250, and welcome back to Umineko. I'm almost better, almost. You might be able to hear the sickness in my voice just a little bit, but I think we're good to go. So, last time, we had a lovely little conversation with Beatrice and Shannon, and then all of a sudden, Beatrice was like, hey, look, there's Cannon, and Shannon's like, oh my gosh, it's Cannon. Cannon's like, get away from her. And she's like, no, it's okay. And they talked about the ocean some and how it was funny colored. And now Cannon's being a tattletale. It was rare for Kinzo to leave his study. However, that in itself didn't mean his noble research had been suspended. He may have left the study because of a change in mood, but that didn't mean that the thoughts filling his head were any different from those he had inside the study. So, Cannon knew that no matter what the time, speaking to Kinzo when he didn't want to be spoken would always be a disturbance in his research.
天気が重いな。崩れるのか。
はい。天気予報ではいつ雨があってもおかしくないと。傘をお持ちいたしましょうか。
それには及ばん。しばらく私を放っておくがいい。息子たちに聞かれても所在は知らぬと言っておけ。私は自らの思考を巡る旅で忙しい。
かしこまりました。それでは失礼いたします。
During the time that Cannon bowed to him, Kinzo had already returned to his own world, and had forgotten that Cannon was there. And once again, he began rambling to himself. Ooh, this should be interesting. We haven't actually been around Kinzo since basically the beginning of the story. Amidst those words, the name of that witch was repeated many times. Beatrice!
お前の微笑みに手が届かぬ。どうすればよみがえるのか。どうすれば再び微笑んでくれるのか。
I mean, you could invite your entire family to a conference, not show up, and then have this great, game thing start. That worked pretty well last time, I'd have to say. Pretty flawless. I mean, he did die, so, maybe a little less than flawless, but it still happened.
何が足りぬ。研究か、資料か、触媒か。
A lack of easily murderable people?
それとも魔力か、運気か、信託か。ああ、ベアトリーチェ、どうすればお前の面影をもう一度見ることができるのだ。
As Cannon listened to his master's weeping voice with his back turned, he turned around just once. When he did, right behind his isolated old master, was the shadow of a person that shouldn't have been there. It was the witch. At once, Cannon, thinking that the witch must be plotting to do Kinzo some harm, quickly ran back to Kinzo, trying to become a shield himself. But when he saw the expression on the witch's face, that emotion vanished. Because Beatrice's expression was sorrowful, or maybe pitying, or looking kind of sinister. Ah, there we go, that looks a bit better. Right behind Kinzo, as he repeated the witch's name over and over, desiring to be reunited with her more than anything else, was the witch herself. And yet, Kinzo didn't notice anything. When Beatrice tried to rest her hand on his shoulder, he didn't notice anything. Maybe you're just reaching in the wrong direction.
水星の周期か惑星の配列か何が足りぬのだ何が
無駄よ金蔵愛がなければ見えない
Cannon took the brooch he had received from Shannon out of his pocket, after fixing the text box yet again. Would he also be able to see something that couldn't be seen now by learning something?
愛がなければ
He looked at Kinzo's back once more. The witch could no longer be seen there. So I'm hoping we explore this idea of love further in the game, because as of right now it seems a little ambiguous. So it'd be interesting to learn more. What is this? Are they on another date? Oh, I hope so. The biggest event for the Ushiramiya family in fall was the family conference in October. But to Jessica, there was another one before that. Oh, this is her school. The school cultural festival. Jessica liked school. To her, it was a place where she could let out the stress she'd built up during the rigid lifestyle she was forced to lead at home. For the cultural festival today, she had formed a group with her friends, and had announced that they would perform light music on a temporary stage. She had kept on preparing and practicing for that, and had really looked forward to today. But there was one thing that worried her. She looked at the clock. There was still a little time, but she was uneasy. Would that person really come? Oh man, who does she like? After taking a single deep breath, her heart jumped when all of her friends suddenly started speaking in shrill voices. Oh man, it's Hina's boyfriend! Oh man. The glasses beast. Girls are weird. None of the girls would say it, but to them, the cultural festival at Jessica's school was really a boyfriend exhibition. Jessica didn't have a boyfriend. She had many friends of the opposite sex, but no special, only one. But Jessica was a little famous around the school, and everyone thought it would be natural for her to have a fitting partner. Furthermore, her pride had caused her to act like that was the case. So, she had slyly been able to trick them somehow until this year. But for various reasons, she hadn't been able to escape this year's cultural festival. Oh yeah, he's in the other room. Oh, I can assure you he's 100% real. He's definitely real, and he definitely exists. Ha ha, nervous laughter. Jessica's bitter smile was covered with a cold sweat. It was starting to seem doubtful whether she really had deceived her sharp-witted friends. Sure, because that's always worked out for everyone that's ever done that. Shannon's ridiculous plan surprised Jessica into hysterics. Even so, it was probably more realistic than the unrealistic methods running through her head about getting a boyfriend in the big rush before the cultural festival. Wow, that's really helpful. Of course, I'm sure he's going to be incredibly boring, and he's going to have really awkward talk if he actually does come.
じゃなくて、休みならもっと悪いぜ。せっかくの休みを私の見栄のために引っ張り出せないよ。
カノン君は引っ張り出されないといっつも閉じこもってばかりいますので、無理に引っ張り回すくらいでちょうどいいかと思いますよ。
そうなの？いや、でも
That was a great expression for what she just said.
なら晩作つきますね。おとなしく彼氏はいませんと白状なされてはいかがでしょうか。それは肩身の狭い思いをなされるでしょうが、卒業までの短くも長い間を耐え忍ばれるだけでございますし、愛し合う恋人同士にとって独り者のひがみ顔が何にも勝る甘い蜜なのです。
シャノン、私のために本気で悩んでないでしょ。おちょくってるでしょ。
Jessica wrestled about with Shannon, her eyes teary. But Shannon was unconcerned, laughing with her usual smile.
はい、私とジョージ様のことを茶化してばかりのお嬢様への仕返しです。
Listening to Shannon's comeback, the likes of which didn't happen even once a year, Jessica hugged her cushion and rolled around in her bed, pretending to faint in agony. She was so frustrated that she couldn't stand Shannon's smile, which looked so triumphant. But right now, she was the only person Jessica could talk with. She could choke herself to death with the cushion later.
いいじゃないですか、お嬢様。文化祭ではありますが、カノン君と一緒に遊びに行くチャンスですよ。
いや、それは、いや。
I bet she totally does like Cannon. Jessica buried her head in her favorite pillow to hide the fact that her face had grown bright red. And she grumpily chewed the fingernail on her thumb. It really was a reaction to be appreciated. Shannon and Jessica were of about the same age, the same sex, and they were also friends. And they were both right in the middle of puberty. They could never talk enough about the things related to love. That's why they were able to expose these topics to each other. So, Jessica had heard the details of how Shannon's and George's love was progressing. And, on the other side, Shannon had heard the details of what type Jessica liked, and what kind of man she might be interested in. Judging by Jessica's reaction, maybe it had been unrefined to speak of that in detail. She had said that because of the discussion, there wouldn't be progress if Jessica kept rolling around on the bed. Jessica had been thinking about Cannon ever since he had shown up. They were almost no young men on Rokenjima. So, maybe it was natural for Jessica, as a girl in puberty, to become interested in Cannon. But if anyone said that, it would destroy the romance of a maiden's pure heart and love at first sight. Shannon had been with Cannon the whole time at the orphanage, so she'd known him before they had started working. So Jessica had asked persistently about what his hobbies were, what his favorite food was, what type of girl he liked. It was clear to Shannon that Jessica was infatuated with Cannon.
もう、カノン君をデートに連れ出せるいい機会じゃありませんか。
でも、カノン君にだって好きな人とかいるかもしれないし、私なんかの見えっ張りに付き合わせたら気を悪くするぜ。
お嬢様のような素直じゃない方、何でしたっけ？ジョージ様に習いました。そうそう、ツンドラとか言うそうですよ。
Romanji reading for tundra, which is often used as a pun in reference to the term tsundere, which has become increasingly popular in recent decades. This Japanese term is composed of two words, tsutsun and dere, meaning respectively aloof or cranky and love-struck. It is mainly used for characters that demonstrate an aggressive and or cold behavior, soon, but then become all lovey-dovey, dere, under some circumstances. I would say that's a pretty good way of explaining that.
あと十数年かすると流行るんだそうですよ。
へえ、さすがジョージ兄さんだ。未来のトレンドがわかるのかよ。すげえぜ。じゃなくてってことは私とタイプは時代が
No,
ず
I
れてる
think
って
she's
ことじゃ
saying
ねえかよ。
something else here.
もうダメだ。
It took several days of fruitless efforts, but in the end, Jessica agreed to the plan of having Cannon pretend to be her boyfriend. Oh boy. Now we get to have less murder and more weird romance stuff. Which I'm sure could be really fun.
はい、
Comedic
お嬢
and
様
stuff.
お呼びでしょうか。
Jessica regretted calling out at such a bad time. Cannon always had a sour look, but he had some bad days and some good days. Unfortunately, this reaction was the former.
いや、その
All that confidence and effort she had piled up by practicing in front of a mirror all night was wiped out in about 5 seconds. Jessica turned bright red and hung her head. When he saw that, Cannon took a deep breath. Jessica thought he had been shocked, and her face went pale.
シャノンから聞いています。お嬢様の学校の文化祭へお供するようにというお話ですか。
シャノンナイスじゃなくて
Nice, Shannon.
そうなんだけど、
I mean, it's not like a date or anything, you know, it's just like us going together pretending that we love each other and stuff.
当日の予定はどうかな。
シャノンから当日は特にお嬢様にお仕えするよう厳命されております。僕は高校には行ったことがないので分かりませんが、何でも男性の付き人がいないと大変肩身が狭い場だ。
Now that's something interesting to bring up. They keep saying, you know, you should feel grateful for your education and stuff, which I'm assuming means that they have basic education, of course. But is it not mandatory? Well, I guess it is Japan. It's not mandatory in Japan to have high school education, is it? Only up to middle school, I think, or whatever they call it. Is that right? Does anyone know any information on that? I'd love to know that. But and that might also be due to the fact that they are servants and maybe they don't get the same education for some reason. Also, this is in the past, so you know it might have been different in the past. In fact, it probably was different. But yeah, let me know if anybody has any more background information on that.
後ろ宮本家令嬢が庶民に劣ることがあってはならないと。特に
シャノンは後でぶっ殺す。
Good job, Shannon. Making every day more exciting. Jessica kept yelling with a strange voice and a broken smile, like a tea kettle filled with boiling water. As Cannon watched this, he sighed again. Cannon wasn't an idiot either. He fully understood what Jessica intended by inviting him. However, it would be really annoying to go along with the lady's game of love. But Shannon had talked to him persistently. He was very indebted to her. He couldn't refuse. And that brooch was in his pocket. Couldn't the strange turn of events also have been brought about by this magic power residing in this brooch? Ridiculous. But he remembered those words Shannon had told him. Had Shannon seen something that could not be seen by him? I don't understand Shannon's feelings. I am furniture. As if I could become something more than that. It was a truly odd exchange between Jessica, who was still rambling on in a strange voice, and Cannon, who took a deep breath. And the world lost color yet again. The color generators went down. Oh man, Cannon, is he here?
聞こえてないの？え？ごめん。誰？
As my friends all gathered together, they were looking this way with hard-to-describe expressions, whispering to each other. in small voices that weren't small anymore. Even I feel kind of shameless. Did I just say, sorry, who? Like, I don't know who's shown up. It's useless. It's useless. My mind is blank. Oh man, how does Canon...
嘘、あれジェシの彼氏？かわいい。本当に彼氏いたんだ。マジ嘘本当？ジェシカの裏切り者。すっごい素敵じゃん。年下なんて聞いてないよ。
That is an odd choice of attire, is it not? What is that? Like some sort of long coat? Like an overcoat? I don't... That's weird. Okay, we'll go with it.
どこどこ？ジェシの彼氏ってどこどこ？嘘だって本当？いや、遅かったじゃねえかよ。
昇降口がわからなかったもので、遅くなって申し訳ございません。
いや、その格好も似合ってる。
An overcoat, I think that's the word I was looking for. Though that probably isn't even that.
シャノンが普段着では良くないと言って先日一緒に買い物を。似合いませんでしたでしょうか。
そんなことないよ。シャノン、後で2階級特進。
なんだかここは女の人ばかりで居心地が悪いです。
だよな。さ、こうじゃなくてステージの方に行こうぜ。もうすぐ私たちの出番だからさ。さ。
Jessica was just as uncomfortable. It looked like it was hard to be bathed in everyone's interested gazes. When he saw Jessica's appearance, Canon thought that he might have made things difficult for her by coming.
なんだか迷惑をおかけしているような気がします。お邪魔だったでしょうか。
そんなことないって。
僕がお邪魔でしたらいつでも言ってくだされば。
僕だ。あひー。邪魔なんかじゃないよ、カノン君。彼氏勘付けだ。
僕はどうしていればいいでしょうか、お嬢様。
Oh, I love it. This is so good. Oh my gosh. This is so good. I'm really... Oh, we got new things here, I think. Is this new? Oh no, it's just the same, but they got the new clothes. Oh, I'm loving this so far. This is so good. Okay, Boku, it's a pronoun for I. It's often used by young boys. It can have a slightly cute feel to it. It is used less often by teenagers and adults who would rather use ore, or a neutral pronoun like watashi, and implies casual deference. The Japanese word for omgom... Oh, I see. OMG? Is that what they mean? It was KTKR, an abbreviation for Kitakore, which literally means it's coming. This Japanese online slang usually shows excitement or expectation, and is often seen in the ASCII art shown below. Wow! I'm assuming that's a sound that something like that would make. Oh, I'm sure that's gonna work really well.
そうですか。わかりました、ジェシカ様。
Exactly. I knew something like that was gonna happen.
ごめん、カノン君。3秒でいいから目つぶっててくれるかな。
Why was there an explosion? What the heck? Why was there an explosion? What? Why is there thunder? When Canon opened his eyes, for some reason, there was a horrible tragedy in the room. Everyone had been driven into the walls, their arms and legs outstretched. Jessica put her brass knuckles in her pocket before Cannon opened his eyes.
とにかくステージの方に行こう。
Oh my gosh, she's so violent.
私たちの出番はもうすぐだから、しばらく先に待っててよ。私たちは準備あるからさ。この先、突き当たりまで行けば仮設舞台があるからわかるぜ。そこで待ってて。
She pushed Cannon's back, as it looked like it would be hard for him to go by himself, and chased him out. Even though Cannon was confused by Jessica's attitude and panic, which he had never seen before, he followed her instructions and headed in the direction she had indicated. Well, that was fun. Oh, I'm liking this quite a bit. This is actually very interesting. In a kind of dumb, childish way, but still, it's fun. Anyway, I guess we'll resume this next time and find out about Jessica and Cannon's great love relationship, or at least how awkward they can be with each other. And, yeah, we'll get to that next time. Also, I had a problem with my phone recently, so if anyone's been watching the Banshee's Last Cry series, it might take a day or two before I can get back up with that. So that might be on hold for a day or two if anyone's curious about that. And normal stuff should start soon. I'm just kind of trying to get over being sick, and I need extra rest, so I have less time to make videos at the moment. But we should be good to go soon. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!